Wow. The console war this year is really heating up. I mean, I haven't seen this much competition between, especially Microsoft and Sony, in a very long time. I understand that the previous generations, they kind of had some of their bouts, but this time, Microsoft is going just full bore, and PlayStation is on the defensive, just trying to stop Microsoft from buying everything. Each side has some great points as to whether or not Microsoft should go through with the deal, but that's not what this video is about. The video is about the console war itself and really who won 2022, because it was a hell of a year for video games. I don't know if I'd call it one of the best, but there are definitely some great titles that came out I'll be playing for a very long time. Now, I want to give out some honorable mentions just because I feel like I can't just say, oh, this was the best one, and that's it. Because I do want to give some honorable mentions. First of all, I want to give an honorable mention and an award to Microsoft for having the best value when it comes to gaming this year. Game Pass, seriously, I mean, it's really the only reason to own an Xbox. And with the Series S and the constantly low price that they have it for, I mean, it's just the cheapest way and the easiest way to get into this current gen of gaming. Now, people are going to say, oh, but the Series S is underpowered, it's digital only, all those things. Yeah, that's very true. But it's also gone on sale for as low as $220. At one point, it was on sale for $250, and you got a $50 Target gift card. So it's essentially a $200 system at that point. And that's crazy. So for $200, you can't get into gaming any cheaper than that. That's crazy. And then with Game Pass, you're just set. You don't have to buy any games. You're good. I mean, there were definitely a couple of games that weren't coming out to Game Pass that you would have to buy. If you're looking to pick up the heavy hitters of the year, like Call of Duty and Elden Ring, you would have to fork out some money, but still, you'd be able to play both of those games on the Series S just fine. And that is freaking crazy. And then I want to give an honorable mention as well to Nintendo for just coming out with sequel after sequel after sequel of games that people have just been waiting for more games of. I mean, Splatoon got a new one, Splatoon 3, and also they finally fixed a lot of issues with it. I'll go into that later. Xenoblade Chronicles 3. People have been waiting since the original Wii to finally start getting games for it again, and the Switch, they get 2 of them. That's awesome for fans of the series. Bayonetta 3, another Bayonetta game, and people are loving it, and that's just great. I love when fans of a series get to have another game in that series. Not only do they get another game in that series, but it's actually good. Speaking of good sequels that I was surprised about, Pokemon Arceus. Now, I know it's technically not really a sequel, but I'm just going to call it a sequel because there are a million Pokemon games. They're all basically the same, and Arceus finally took a step away from the continual classic formula and did something different, and I really appreciate that. Let's move on to what won the console of the year. What was the best one? Was it the PlayStation 5? Was it the Switch? Was it the Series X or Series S? Or was it the Atari VCS? What's the console of the year? What do I find really just killed it this year? The PlayStation 5. I have to give it to the PlayStation 5 just because of the games that came out and the caliber of games that came out for that system. God of War, Ragnarok, I mean, Game of the Year in so many different categories. It didn't get Game of the Year, but you can play Elden Ring on your PlayStation 5, so that kinda counts, sort of. Horizon Forbidden West, another sequel to another series that people are a big fan of. Me, not so much, couldn't really get into the first one. I'm gonna try again in the future, but the graphics look amazing. The gameplay looks like a lot of fun, even if the story doesn't look like it's for me. I can see why people love it, and I can see how it is definitely another high caliber, amazingly put together game. Stray, another fan favorite, and I don't know if it's coming to the Xbox anytime soon, so it's still an exclusive for the PlayStation systems, and I had a lot of fun with it. It's got some great graphics. It's a little bit short, but it's just all around wholesome, good game. but it's also got some darker edges. I don't know, it's a complex game, surprisingly, when it comes to a game where you're just a cat. Rollerdrome. Yeah, I know it's on PC, but it's also, if you're looking at consoles, it's only on the PlayStation systems, which is surprising. Like, it kind of looks like it'd be a good Switch game. But I digress. This game's a ton of fun. I love the gameplay of it. It's like Tony Hawk with guns, a lot of people say, and I gotta agree. I love the different puzzle elements when it comes to how you take down certain enemies, because you don't just shoot them all. You have to time things differently, use different guns on different enemies in different ways, and it's just, while you're pulling off all these different tricks all at the same time, and you're dodging bullets, and it's just exciting. It's fun. I like the music. I like the graphics. I like this game so much. If you haven't played this game and you have a PC or a PlayStation system, I highly recommend you check it out. And also, I guess I gotta give them credit for The Last of Us Part 1. I still don't think it's worth $70. I still haven't picked it up, and I won't until it is around that $20 range. But for mega fans of the series, I'm happy for you, because you get to play the original game in higher graphical fidelity, and that's just something that a lot of people are really happy about, because the game does look a lot better than the original, even the remaster. So there you go. People get a special edition of one of their favorite games, and that's cool. Number 2 of the year, I'm going to say, is Nintendo. Nintendo is very close, very close to taking my top spot. And you might be wondering, why didn't it take the top spot? Because it had Splatoon 3, it had Bayonetta 3, it had Xenoblade Chronicles 3. They're doing what Valve can't. They're doing the number 3, and I'm proud of them. Kirby in the Forgotten Land, such a great game. Pokemon Arceus, I've already talked about all these games. Why isn't it number 1? Why isn't it number 1? I know some people are just shouting at their computer right now, or you're putting it down in the comments. What the hell? Why is Nintendo not number 1? Well, first of all, this system has aged very poorly. Okay, we saw that with Bayonetta 3. We saw that in Pokemon Arceus. We saw that with some of the animation of background characters or things that are far away in Kirby. And we definitely saw that in Scarlet and Violet. Now, of course, it's not the system's fault for all of Scarlet and Violet's issues, but it is certainly the main issue with a lot of the graphical fidelity. This system needs an update. I know I put up that video recently, but you know what? That's not all. It also didn't have Elden Ring. So if you have a Switch, you can't play Elden Ring. You can't play the new Call of Duty game. There are all these multi-plat games that Nintendo Switch is missing out on, and for that, I have to ding it. Those are 2 phenomenal games that came out this year, and you just couldn't play them on the Nintendo Switch. Now, that might not be fair to some people, I understand, but that's my rationale for giving the PlayStation 5 the top spot, because it could play those 2 games, and it could play them very well. So that leaves Microsoft as number 3, because there's really nothing to be excited about when you're owning the system. It's just a good system. Like, that's not enough to take the top spot. You can't just be good. You have to be amazing. And that's what those other 2 systems were doing. They were pumping out amazing experiences you could only have on those systems. And that's not something that Microsoft did this year. They kept delaying things. And because they delayed everything, they came out with Grounded, which I know a lot of people really enjoy it, but you could also have been playing that for a year now or so. Pentiment, which I've heard is a great game. It's not my type of game, a little bit too slow. I don't have the time for that sort of game. And that's about it. That's all I could really find that was only for the Xbox. Let me know in the comments if I missed something. I want to know, because I want to play it. But Game Pass, it was still killing it this year. Lots of amazing games came out for it. Near the end of the year even, the Lego Star Wars Saga is now on Game Pass. That's amazing. That's so awesome. There's just so much to be played on Game Pass. And I'm seriously on... You know what? It's funny. I gave the PlayStation 5 number 1 when it comes to console of the year. But I played my Series X a lot more than I played my PlayStation 5. Which you might be thinking, well, that doesn't make sense. Why did I give the PlayStation 5 number 1? Because again, it didn't have enough of its own unique experiences, and that's what I was looking for when I was giving console of the year and when I was ranking these different systems. What does it bring to the table that is only there? Yeah, you could say Game Pass is only on Xbox, but Sony has their own equivalent now. It's not the best in the world, but it's not bad. There's still lots of great games on it, so you can't even just say, oh, well, Game Pass makes it number 1 automatically. I don't think so. I think it makes it the best value in gaming, but when it comes to new and exclusive experiences, they're not doing it. So 2023 is Microsoft's time to shine because we're going to see a lot of new games coming out. They delayed a bunch of stuff. So we're going to see the new Bethesda game. We're going to see their weird Left 4 Dead vampire game. And they've got, I believe, quite a few other games coming out in 2023. But nothing came out in 2022. Only on Xbox. That's why I had to make it number 3. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. What your favorite console was of the year. I mean, some of you are only going to have one of them, but I still want to hear how your experience was with your one console or whatever your favorite console was of the year. And of course, please do like the video and subscribe for more content. I'm going to have a new series coming out very soon, if not starting next year, called Console War, where I'm going to go into the history of all the different console wars we've seen. I'm going to break down the different systems, what they brought to the table, and then go into the actual war that went on, what the heavy hitter games were, all those different things. I've already started writing the first few episodes, so I'm really excited. Hope you guys will check that out when it comes out, so definitely stay tuned, subscribe for those coming out, and I've got a lot planned for 2023, just like these video game developers. Thanks for watching, everybody, and as always, have a fantastic day. See you, everybody.